In tonight's rewrite, the job description of the American teacher. Last night, I told my wife I would take a bullet for the kids. That's what Robert Parrish told the New York Times today. He said, "I think about it all the time." It's not theoretical for Robert Parrish. He's an elementary school teacher at a school near the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, where 14 students and 3 teachers were murdered last week. Teachers all over the country are now thinking about it all the time, talking about it with their families, talking about it with their kids. Stoneman Douglas High geography teacher Scott Beagle talked about it with his fiancée, Gwen Gosler. She told that story at his funeral on Sunday. She said that he told her, "Promise me, if this ever happens to me, you will tell them the truth. Tell them what a jerk I am. Don't talk about the hero stuff." These are the same public school teachers who are so often condemned by Republicans as being the overpaid members of an all-too-powerful union. Well, it's a union that's not powerful enough to get them combat pay. It's a union that's not powerful enough to get them death benefits like soldiers get for being killed in the line of duty. The families of American soldiers killed in battle get $100,000. American teachers killed in massacres in schools just get their names taken off the payroll. Zero. Republicans eagerly attack teachers' unions because the teachers' unions often choose to support Democrats who are in favor of increased funding for education instead of Republicans who are in favor of decreased funding for education. President Trump's budget proposes a cut in funding for school security. President Trump wants to make teachers and students even more vulnerable to gunfire. President Trump doesn't know that, of course. He doesn't know that's in his budget because he doesn't know anything that's in his budget. And so when he meets with some of the people who survived this school shooting tomorrow, he will try to say what he thinks they want to hear. What he needs to hear is what it's like when a mass murderer comes to your school. English teacher Dara Haas had 3 of her students killed last week. 3. She told NBC's Kerry Sanders that at first she thought it was just a drill.
I thought it might be the drill, and I went to shut the blinds, and then I turned to say, "Turn the lights off." And when I turned, I saw my student. I saw him, and he was bleeding.
14-year-old Alex Schachter had been shot.
And my students, they were so brave.
Haas grabbed her cell phone.
And I called 911, and they asked if I could get to my student that was injured, and I couldn't get over to him. And then 911 said, "He's coming back." Because he already shot my room twice. Wasn't that enough? But no, he's coming back. And I figured if I have to go, I'm going to hug my students closer. And I kissed my students on their head and, trying to comfort them.
Schachter and 2 more students, 14-year-old Alina Petty and 14-year-old Alyssa Al-Hadef, were killed in her classroom.
It's so hard to grasp that I lost their sweet little faces.
One building over, amid the chaos,
I was locked out of all the classrooms.
16-year-old 11th grader Jack McLeod trapped in a hallway with nowhere to hide.
And you couldn't get in that first door.
I could not get into that classroom.
Then a math teacher the kids call Mama Trezino did what she was trained never to do.
I broke protocol. So I opened my door and looked out, and here's a group of children with an adult, and he goes, "Can we come in?" I said, "Everybody come in as fast as you can."
At 65, Mary Trezino is a year away from retirement.
I turned to the kids and I said, "I want you to know that if anybody comes through that door to harm you, they have to come through me. I will be the first offense. They will have to shoot me to get to you, and maybe that will give you a chance."
It would be 90 minutes before the SWAT team finally came to their rescue. English teacher Dara Haas had given her students an assignment to write a poem. She got Alex's poem texted from his father while we were there.
Life is like a roller coaster. It has some ups and downs. Eventually it all comes to a stop. You won't know when or how, but you will know that it will be time to get off and start new. It's not fair that they had to be taken. It's not fair.
Jim Gard is 58 years old. He's been a teacher for 36 years. He was in math class at Stoneham Douglas during the shooting. 2 of the dead had been students of his, and the shooter was a former student of his. Jim Gard told the New York Times, you know, if I go through my college transcripts, master's degree, doctorate courses, all that, I know for sure there are no courses that say Shooter on Campus 101. This is what life in America has become in the age of the AR-15. What should be the most nonviolent profession in America has become one of the front lines of mass murder in this country. And so American teachers and their fiancés and their husbands and their wives and their children are worried that they might not come home from work tomorrow, or they will come home from work tomorrow drenched in the blood of their students. Andrea Suarez is a 35-year-old middle school teacher in Broward County, Florida. Her own 4 children at home have been urging her to quit her job of teaching because it's too dangerous. She says she's been having trouble sleeping because, she told the New York Times, I keep hearing kids screaming and gunshots in my head. No doubt there are thousands of teachers in America tonight who are considering leaving their profession because they don't want to get killed, because they don't want to watch children be killed, because they don't want to be in a classroom where they will see with their own eyes what an assault weapon does to children's bodies. And under these working conditions, who would have the audacity to tell an American school teacher to stay in the line of fire with no support from American politicians who continue to follow the National Rifle Association's mandate to make sure that the American mass murderers have everything they need when they walk into a school, everything they need to kill as many students and teachers as possible. Still, Jim Gard wants to stay. He wants to stay at Stoneman Douglas High School. He told the New York Times, I want to go back. I want to go back to my kids. I want to go back to my classroom. I want to see the kids. I want to teach the kids. And that's the bottom line. And that is the voice of true bravery in America today. The bravery to walk into an American classroom and try to continue to teach math with one eye on the classroom door, waiting for the next mass murderer to burst in with an assault weapon and start firing. Every teacher in America who chooses to go to work tomorrow knows that this is going to happen again. There is going to be another mass murderer with an assault weapon in another school. Every teacher knows that, but none of them know if their classroom is going to be next. And none of them know which of them will take a bullet for the kids. For American school teachers, the simple act of going to work tomorrow has become an act of pure heroism.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.